The veteran returned home. He found that his home had been turned into a pigsty. The old man who fed the pigs told him his mother had already passed away due to illness. His brother was hanged for assaulting a police officer. The man was baffled. While they were talking, a woman walked up to him. This woman is the man's sister-in-law. When the old man saw him, he left in a panic. The sister-in-law told Feeney that since he joined the army, a plague swept through his hometown. Countless people died in the plague. His mother was not spared either. Then the landlord, in collusion with the police, demolished their house. The brother stabbed the policeman to protect the house. The judge sentenced him to death by hanging. Luckily, my sister-in-law found a shabby house and survived with her 3 children. The old man who fed the pigs was the landlord's henchman. When he learned the truth, Feeney didn't say a word. He knew he couldn't fight the landlord and the police on his own. Then he took out a bag of gold coins and offered to take them to America. His sister-in-law agreed. He'd had enough of his life. The next morning, Feeney went alone to pay his respects to his mother and brother. But when he returned, he found a group of policemen surrounding the house. They wanted to arrest the people inside and tear the house down. Feeney immediately went up to stop them, but he was put down by the police with a stick and pinned to the ground. His sister-in-law had no choice but to come out with the kids. But what I didn't expect, Feeney's nephew, in order to avenge his father's death, stabbed the policeman next to him, and then he was shot dead. Feeney could only watch helplessly. His eyes were filled with rage, as if he were a wild animal. The police took Feeney back to the station. The chief put him in jail without asking why. He played with Feeney's knife, taunting him that he was a cheap bastard. Feeney kicked the knife into the chief's pocket. Then he knocked down the police officer next to him. The chief screamed for help. Next thing you know, Feeney's got a bullet in his head. Just as he's about to uncuff himself, help arrives. Feeney used the officer as a shield. He dodged the shot. Then he picks up his pocket knife and starts harvesting. Feeney didn't take any chances with these guys who were working for him. Feeney didn't take any prisoners. He took care of them all in no time. Then he set fire to the police station and prepared to go back to take his sister-in-law and her family to America. Unexpectedly, it was snowing heavily that night, and the roof of the house was torn down by the police, resulting in his sister-in-law and her family freezing to death. This tragic scene made Feeney angry. He was determined to avenge his family's death. He took a pig and went to the landlord's house. When the old man entered the house and saw Feeney, he was stunned. He immediately explained that he had been forced to do so, but Feeney just stared at him fiercely. The old man thought something was wrong and opened the cupboard and took out a gun, but the gun was empty. It turns out Feeney had already done something about it. He rushed straight to the old man. He grabbed him by the collar and killed him with a knife. On the other hand, the top brass learned about the incident at the police station, so they sent a young captain and Hannah, Feeney's former comrade, to arrest him. But as soon as they arrived at the old man's house, they were met with a chilling sight. As soon as the men entered the house and saw the body of a pig-headed man. This horrific sight left the captain frozen in place. After a search, it was found that nothing was missing from the house. It seems the murderer was not after the money. Hannah suspected that it was the work of Feeney, a wanted man, so he went to Feeney's house. He found the body's head. It was obvious that the murderer was Feeney. They found out from one of the villagers that Feeney's house had been attacked by the landlord. A villager told them that Feeney's house was razed by a landlord, resulting in the tragic deaths of his family. And this must be Feeney's revenge. Meanwhile, Feeney arrived at the town's courthouse. He saw the door where his brother had been hanged. He saw his brother hanged on the door, and he found a man guilty without a second thought. Feeney was furious. He snuck into the judge's chambers and without a word, he hanged him right outside the courtroom. The scene was witnessed by Hannah and others passing by. They figured Feeney's next target would be the landlord, so they headed for the landlord's house immediately. But Feeney had already arrived earlier and emptied his men. When the butler entered the stables, Feeney suddenly appeared from behind the door and pressed the landlord's whereabouts. The steward was still talking at the end of his rope. Feeney went up to him and hit him in the mouth. In order to save his life, he had to reveal the landlord's estate in the city. In the end, Feeney killed the steward. Just as he was about to leave, Hannah and the others arrived. Feeney didn't hesitate and shot the top horse. Hannah tried to sneak in from the side, but Feeney kicked the door open and knocked her to the ground. Feeney didn't hit his former comrade hard. Fellow soldiers took advantage of the situation to take aim at him, but with one look, the soldiers were too scared to shoot. He just walked away in full view of everyone. Before he could react, it was too late. He was so angry, he yelled at the soldier. Hannah knew Feeney would never let the landowner go, so they traveled all night to the landowner's estate. While they were resting on the way, Feeney came quietly and told Hannah what had happened. He said he wanted to protect the country, but the landlord ruined his family. I must take revenge for this. If you insist on stopping me, I won't be polite to you next time. After that, Feeney left in style. The next day, Hannah and her team came to the landlord's estate. Hannah and her team came to the landlord's estate and told him the reason for their visit. But the landlord didn't give a damn about Feeney. He said he had a large number of guards. Who would make sure he didn't come back. After Hannah's persuasion, the landlord reluctantly agreed to let them stay and protect him. And then he revealed the reason for the demolition of the house. It turns out that on the landowner's land, the tax is based on the number of peasants. The more peasants, the higher the tax. So he demolished the houses so that the peasants would become vagabonds, so he could pay less tax. Hannah was shocked that the old man could be so cruel. At night, the landowner went to sleep. Unbeknownst to him, Feeney had taken out the guards and snuck into his room. The man sneaked into the house. He was ready to kill the black-hearted landlord, but when he lifted the covers, he realized he'd been tricked. Feeney pushed the gun away from the captain and knocked him down. He was about to send him away when he was stopped by Hannah, who was hiding in the shadows. But Hannah didn't want to do anything to her former comrade. When the landlord heard the noise, he came in. He told Hannah to kill Feeney, but Hannah gave Feeney a look. Feeney got the message and hit the captain with the hilt of his knife. Then he made fast acquaintance with the landlord. By the time the guards came out, Feeney had already escaped with the landlord, but he didn't rush to kill the landlord. But he didn't kill the landlord in a hurry, because he had other uses for him. The next day, Hannah had not yet decided to execute Feeney for letting him go. At this critical moment, a shot rang out and a soldier fell to the ground. It turned out that Feeney had the guts. Then he killed another soldier. Then he jumped off the roof and disappeared from sight. By now, the manor was in a state of chaos. A man in black rode in on horseback. The captain thought it was Feeney. He had the soldiers shoot him down, but when he turned him over, he realized that he was the landlord, which was a big mistake. On the other side, Feeney made a comeback. He took down 3 soldiers quickly. Then he went to the second floor and loaded his gun. He shot the guard at the gate. Refugees broke into the manor to steal the food, but the sound of gunfire also revealed Feeney's position. Feeney shot him through the shoulder before he could attack. While Feeney was reloading, a policeman rushed in and shot him. The two struggled. Feeney returned fire with a knife. During the fight, the 2 men broke a window and fell into the barn, but Feeney's knife was picked up by the cop. He cornered Feeney and waved the knife around. He was punched in the face again. Then Feeney strangled him, and that's how he was put out of his misery. But Feeney was also seriously injured. 2 policemen were already pointing their guns at him. Hannah rode up on a horse and saved Feeney. Then the 2 of them tried to escape, but they didn't realize the captain was hiding. As soon as they stepped out of the barn, Feeney was shot through the stomach by the captain. Hannah was ready to kill him on the spot, but the gun misfired. In order to get out of there as quickly as possible, Hannah had to let the captain go. Hannah took Feeney and left, but before they could get far, Feeney collapsed from his wounds. Before he died, he told Hannah not to fight them anymore. He told Hannah to go to America and start a new life. With that, Feeney took his last breath. Hannah closed Feeney's eyes in grief. The captain, having completed his mission, was about to return to his post, but he didn't know that Hannah was following him. But when they came to a fork in the road, Hannah hesitated. On the one hand, she wanted to kill the captain and avenge Feeney's death. On the other hand, he has to go to America and start the life he wants. How can he choose? And that's where the movie ends.